Hey guys, Mr. West here. So, welcome to my backyard gym. Today I'm going to be working on my pull-ups. I got this bar a little over a week ago, and I'm going to tell you my push-ups, my pull-ups are fantastic. My pull-ups have been pathetic. I haven't done them in a couple years, and so I have been starting off small. I do a lot of half reps. I learned that from Jesse Pollock. I've always been the type of guy that just did full range everything, right? Full range. And now look, I know I said that my pull-ups were really shitty, but I've been working on them the last week and a half. Okay, so that's just how it's gonna be. But when I first got this damn thing, I remember thinking, well, the first thing I started to do was making it a bunch of excuses for myself. First thing I did, I looked at that and started thinking, well, I haven't done those in a couple of years. I don't really want to do those. It's going to be hard. And it was hard. But watching Jesse Pollock, he talks about a lot of the half reps. And he says that the half reps are acceptable because it's time under tension. Okay, so looking at me, I am so not a fitness influencer. I am no guru. I don't think I'm Jack. I don't think I'm ripped. I don't think I'm anything, okay? I'm just a guy who about 7 months ago decided that I was going to change my life for the better. And I started with quitting drinking. And I started making content, but sobriety content is boring as fuck. It's not that boring to make, but truth be told, I never ever even think about alcohol unless I'm making those videos. So, and there's so much more to me than just being a guy who recovered from alcohol, okay? I'm recovered. 7 months on the 20th of this month. I'll have 7 months. So that's all great, but when I started making videos on YouTube, I made too many of them about documenting, what it was like being an alcoholic and what the recovery journey's been like, right? And so YouTube basically has put me into a box of a sobriety channel. And I'm not a sobriety channel. I'm not a discipline channel. I'm not a motivation channel. I'm not a workout channel. I'm just a guy who decided to change his life, and rather than just running my mouth like a lot of people do, I started learning things and then I applied them. That's why I've been able to stay alcohol free, I watch a lot of, well, not so much anymore, but like when I first quit drinking, I used to watch a lot of, sobriety videos and shit like that. And the one thing I noticed about those people is that they play games with their audience. One day, it's like recently, there's this one dude, 3 weeks sober. Everyone's proud of him. Good job, man. I knew if you put your mind to it, right? Yeah. Whatever. That guy's just playing people, That's why people get so pissed off with him. Oh, I'm not doing dips right now. I could do dips. It's my backyard. I can do whatever the hell I want to do. But I'm working on pull-ups. But, they just play games with their audience. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I relapsed. I don't know why I did that. Yeah, you know why you did it. You know why you did it. You might have learned some tricks, but you're not using those things. Or you use them until you don't feel like it anymore. I know. I was the same guy. That's why I can talk to you the way that I do. You're bullshitting. You're bullshitting your audience. Now, me personally, I don't like lying to people. And I also understand that, yes, relapse is a part of sobriety. It's a part of it. I get it. So, no judgment to anybody that's ever relapsed. Done it 100 times myself. But one thing I would never, ever even think about doing, right, is stringing people along knowingly. I mean, I've strung people along. I was one of those people that used to make an announcement, whenever I was going to quit drinking. I'd tell everybody, yeah, I'm done this time. Done this time. I'm really going for it this time. And years ago, I had a friend, well, I still do, he's still a friend of mine, but I had a friend that told me, he says, when you're serious about quitting, you'll stop talking about it. All right. You'll stop. And what he meant was you'll stop telling everybody that you're going to quit. There's nothing wrong with talking about it. Like, if you're like, yeah, quit drinking, here's what I'm feeling, all that talking about it is good. Talking about it, talking for therapy and talking to get through things or whatever, fucking fantastic. Nothing wrong with that. But when you start telling everybody you're going to quit drinking or do anything, right? It sounds more to me like you're trying to motivate yourself. I know by experience, that's what I was doing. I was hoping that I could actually believe it that time. And I never believed it anytime I ever did it like that. But when I did get serious about it, I didn't go tell everybody that I was quitting drinking. I told a few people what I wanted to do, and I left it at that. And I went to work on finding out, how do people quit drinking? How do the people who have been successful in quitting drinking, how did they do it, right? So yes, I watched a bunch of sobriety videos and things like that. Bryn Lee's a good dude as far as in that space. I don't know how you do those videos every day. I think that I would go fucking crazy. I think it's boring. Your content is great, by the way. I can watch your content. It's wonderful. I don't need to so much anymore, but your content is awesome. But damn, I could never, and I tried. Like that's why this channel has been, so fucked up lately. Is, YouTube is looking at my channel like, this is a sobriety channel, because I've probably put about, 15 or so videos out, and I think once you do like 10 in a similar topic, it sends those signals to YouTube, and they say, okay, we know who this guy is now. We know who to show him to, And for me, ever since doing that Rick video, YouTube has put my channel into sobriety. It's my own fault. That's what I was talking about at first. That's what I felt like I needed to do, and so I did. But it's just not where I wanted to be locked in at. I would much rather do what I'm doing now. Just work on myself, because that's all this whole thing was supposed to be in the first place. Working on myself. And that's what I'm hoping, if I influence anybody to do anything, it's to work on yourself. Work on yourself and make yourself more healthy and strong so that you can enjoy your life, right? Because, excuse me for a minute, that's what I'm doing. Can you go inside? That's what I'm doing. Every single day, I come out here to this back porch. Like, I just got off work a little bit ago. I come out here to this back porch, and every day, I didn't always have this thing. I usually come out here and hit the heavy bag or do push-ups or whatever it is, whatever workout I was doing. But every single day I come out here, this is my little slice of paradise. This is my peace, This is where I come and I do my thinking. And I think that everybody should invest in a home gym. This thing right here, I got this from Temu. And you can make fun of me if all you want. I'm skinny enough I can use this thing, so it's not going to fall apart. And I don't think I'm ever going to get big enough to where I need a big ass one, right? But this thing right here costed me, I think, a little over 40 bucks, right? And then that Bowflex right behind there, I spent $60 on that thing. 60 bucks, right? And then luckily I got my heavy bag given to me for free. One of my good buddies just moved in across the street, and he doesn't use it anymore. So he's like, "Do you want that thing?" And I said, "Yeah, how much you want for it or whatever." He's like, "Take it," right? So the reason why I'm saying that, so we got 60 there, 40 there, maybe that's 100 bucks, right? Free punching bag. I don't think you can see these over here, but I got a little, here, hold on. You'll be able to see over there, those cinder blocks and stuff, right? So I got those cinder blocks. I was walking down my driveway. We got a really long driveway that leads out to the road, right? Because we live in some apartment complex. And they had just did some work on a property right by my place, right? Oh, my camera's all fucked up. So I'm walking past one day and I see all these cinder blocks and stuff like that. And I remember, I don't remember which, I think it was Jesse Pollock. I give him a lot of credit for me getting myself into shape. But I remember seeing him doing his push-ups on his little stands that he has made, Suck a Free Store or whatever that is. And he just makes these little push-up stands. And back in those days, I had my other channel, the push-up channel, Mr. West, right? And all I did was full range push-ups. And I was very against anything that was half reps or anything like that. To me, half reps was half ass, okay? And I don't believe that way anymore, okay? But these cinder blocks, he would do his push-ups where he would just do these right here, right? And he was just isolating just the chest apparently. And if you, I mean, my chest is a little skinny little bird chest, right? So of course that appealed to me. I'm like, well, sweet, I should start doing those too, right? So I got the cinder blocks and stuff like that, and I've been working them. And you guys don't know what my chest looks like under here. And I really don't want to take my tank top off just yet anyway. But very flat, no definition, nothing like that, right? Started hitting those half reps. And even just like a week later, right, I could start to see some noticeable definition and stuff like that. So for me, a guy starting out, not a guru, not a fitness influencer, nothing like that, very, 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 very valuable. So that's what I use. And it keeps me out of trouble. It keeps me in shape, keeps me sober, all kinds of stuff like that. I know I'm talking too much and I'm not getting my damn reps in. But another fella too, Troy Archer. He's another guy. A lot of people know him in fitness, in this fitness space too. But Troy Archer, he just does he does basically at home workouts and shit like that out in the yard or whatever. He does the pull-ups. He's the one that's got me motivated to do my pull-ups. He'll tell you too, you know, the thing that matters the most, right, is the fact that you're being under tension, okay? The fact that you're getting up on the bar and just hanging, that's something. You're under tension, okay? But he's saying you can do these. You can do those shorties, you know? It all counts. It all counts. And for me, I mean, you know, I'll give you guys, here's what I look like now. Okay, that way we have some sort of comparison over time. Because what I'd like to do, obviously, is I would like to progress, right? I want to get stronger. I don't just want to be, you know, more strong in mind or in spirit. I want to be strong in body too. And the main reason is I want to feel good the rest of my life. I stopped drinking because of how it was making me feel. but also just how it was making me feel just about my overall life in general, and how I was making other people, you know, worry about my health. And can you tell I'm not getting any younger. I'm 41. So, you know, it's important. It was important to me to start taking those steps in life, and start taking my health real seriously. Also, I'm getting married here in August, right? And I want to look good. I want to look strong. I haven't been back home to Idaho, where we're getting married, in Jerome, Idaho, where I'm originally from. I haven't been back home in over a decade, so I especially want to. I mean, I know I look better than I did when I left, because I was a full blown alcoholic back in those days, and that was long before I ever started doing push-ups or working out or anything. I was just a skinny, unhealthy looking guy. Right now, I'm just skinny, but I'm healthy looking, you know. But that's what it was. So yeah, like I was saying, I haven't been back home in over a decade. So I want to look good when I go back home, and I'm really excited, you know. All of my nieces and nephews and things like that, a lot of them have grown up, and I've never even met them. You know, I've been gone for over a decade. I moved back over here to Oregon, to Southern Oregon, in 2011, and so yeah, it's 2026 now. So yeah, shit, I haven't been back home in yeah, like 15 years. So it's time. But I'm thankful to go back at the, you know, where I'm at in this stage of my life now, because I'm the best that I've ever been, as far as being a man and stuff like that. But yeah, so that's what these videos are going to be like from now on. I'm going to just be working on myself. I hope you're doing the same, and we'll just talk about whatever. Yeah, have a good rest of your day on purpose. God bless you. I'm out of here.